Hello, my little filmer dudes. My name is Ivan Montero, and thank you for joining me in my journey to watch everything. It honestly feels like a long while. I mean, this past month has been insane, and honestly getting July done before August was over was, you know, it was a feat. It was a journey and a badge earned. But because of that, I kind of had nothing. I didn't really have a lot of video work, so I've done a couple other things, and I've just been trying to catch up with life. I don't really want to talk about personal things, especially when things are, you know, this early in the personal stuff that is happening. But the past few months, personal things have been taking my attention, so I've been learning to just enjoy and let things kind of go, and I'm realizing that after creating a list, I believe I've shown this before, I'm not quite sure anymore, but you know, I have a list of Hulu, Max, Netflix, Peacock, Prime Video, Apple TV Plus, of which I don't even have yet. All of these shows that I want to watch on pages. I mean, you know, one dedicated to the other, so like one of them has like literally like 2 shows. But shows I wish to watch, and I just haven't been able to, but I'm learning that it's okay. I don't need to watch everything, but we're gonna get close. And anyway, back to this. We're going to go ahead and review August. As you can see, I didn't really do too much in August. So this is gonna be nice, sweet, and short, and I guess I hope to the point. I hope short. Ivan, don't tangent. All right, so starting with the caught up, kept up with, and finished at tab of, what month? August. So at the end of August, I finished 4 shows, and I know technically 2 of them say I finished them on September 1st, but there was nothing I could do. Technically, they premiered on television on August 31st, but I don't watch cable TV, nor do I have cable TV, so there's no way I could have watched it, so I did watch it on September, but I don't really want to include these in September because I'm not going to have watched any of the episodes really in September. Just the two each, the finale episodes. But I've had all this journey all throughout August, so we're gonna be talking about them now. But Crime Scene Kitchen, I started that on June 7th, technically like maybe a little bit before season 2 came out, but I started season 1 and then immediately jumped into season 2 when season 2 was coming out, and oh my goodness, I didn't think that Crime Scene Kitchen season 1 could get better, but season 2 got even better. Season 2 it's the same show, but elevated. They do certain things differently that honestly I am glad that they got away with from season 1, and I hope that they keep the season 2 system. I mean, hey, if they somehow manage to make season 3 even better, then all for it. But Crime Scene Kitchen is a baking show where a group of bakers come into a room and they have to deduce what was made using clues like a dirty pan, some open raspberries. They have to figure out what was used, what was not used, and make the dessert. And if they're right, they get to, you know, live to see another day. This show is great, and it's not as stressful as the Traitors, and we're gonna be talking about the Traitors UK in a little bit, but it's not as stressful as that, but it does get you going. You're just like, what is it gonna be? I don't know, because I don't know baking, but I'm excited, because sometimes they're all wrong. You literally have no idea what's gonna go on in that show, so if you like baking and you kind of like false mysteries, go check it out. But it's really great concept, and it's hosted by Joel McHale, so you're gonna, if you guys know Community, you're gonna love that. Same day finished the Wonder Years season 2. Now I gave the Wonder Years season 2 an 8.5 out of 10. I gave the first season a 9.5 out of 10. It was like, or maybe even a 10 out of 10. It was basically perfect in my mind. Season 2 is a little shorter, and you do feel it, and because it's shorter, they don't have a lot more to tell, and it kind of feels like the main character, Dean, is almost sidelined for the rest of the family, which is fine. We got a whole lot of Dean from the first season. We got the rest of the family the second season, but it really did feel, I don't know, it felt nice, it felt great, but I think I can only give it an 8.5. I think it's like a B plus. It's like a nice little B plus. I really hope it's gonna come back for a season 3, and hey, who doesn't love a period piece? A lot of people, but I love period pieces, especially comedies period pieces. And then we finished What We Do in the Shadows season 5 on September 1st, technically. Well, I mean, no, it is September 1st. What We Do in the Shadows Season 5. It was really good. I gave it a 9, though I do want to give it a little bit less because I didn't really enjoy as much as the other seasons, but I'm not, because I recognize that this is really good and this season was necessary in order to progress the story further. However, that finale just had me confused. I don't know, it just seems that we went through this whole journey, and I'm not, again, no spoilies, but it just feels like we went through this whole journey, and by the time you get to the end of the episode, you're just like, was it for naught, or was it not for naught? You don't know, and we won't know for a whole other year should What We Do in the Shadows get renewed, but it almost felt safe, like we don't have a big cliffhanger to look forward to. So now what? So honestly, yeah, we're gonna put it down. So yeah, it was good, but in terms of, you know, could this be better? Yes, it could have been a little bit better. So 8.7 out of 10 is what it's gonna land on. So My Adventures with Superman, we also finished on September 1st. And this is a show that some people I heard complained about because they didn't really like the anime. And so in my opinion, I'm just like, if you didn't really like anime, don't watch it. Because I didn't really think, even though it had anime style, I didn't really feel like it was that anime. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed this take on Superman, this young, new modern take. And I don't really have much to say other than that it's good. It's nice filler. It's just 10 episodes. So if you don't really want to commit to a long season, 10 episodes, 20 minutes, sweet spot. 8.5. I hope we get more out of this, but I don't really know Superman as well, or really DC as well as as I do Marvel. So to me, whenever I see a new Superman thing, I just take it with a grain of salt, because, you know, how many times can you do a Superman thing? I kind of accept each and every new take because you kind of have to. As long as they stick to the main thing that is Superman, just good for goodness sake, it's kind of like Santa Claus, then I'm fine. And that's what the show had. So I'm enjoying it so far. Do I know what's going on with the villains? Absolutely not. But that's why we have other people breaking these down so that I can understand them. And then we have, in the Disney Plus section, the one, the only, Ahsoka. I am doing reviews, spoiler reviews, mind you. The very first 2 episodes are spoiler free, but from here on out, they're gonna be spoiler reviews. I'm not doing any reactions because I need to just take a step back from reactions, because they take time and they take money, as I said in my first review for episode 1 and 2. But I am having a lot of fun being able to freely discuss these episodes, as I kind of really want to discuss these episodes, because when you're reacting, kind of just, you don't really want to talk too much, and then by the time the episode ends, you kind of forgot what you watched because you're trying to just be focused and react and stuff. So I'm glad that I'm able to take a break. We're gonna be reacting to movies from here on out, kind of, maybe. Yeah, no, we really are. But as far as Ahsoka goes, spoiler reviews, go check them out. But I am liking it so far. I am a little concerned that the 8 episodes still might not be enough, but I love it regardless. And now we have the coming of discovery era. It used to be known as the teenage drom-com, but I didn't really like that title. It really is more of a coming of age or really discovery type of a summer or past 3 months, really. But I am calling this chapter the Hiatus Chapter, and I kind of feel like I'm a little bit in it, and I'm just about to I almost said escape. Not escape, but like get out of it. So maybe escape is the right word, I don't know. But I get into these hiatus moods every so often. It happens, these things happen. You get overloaded like a battery and you explode. Then you do nothing. Or you do what I do and just start watching movies. So in Hiatus 23, we watched This Fool Season 2 on August 1st. This month alone has felt so insanely long. I have to say that This Fool feels like it was months ago. But no, it was just 1. But I did see it all in one day, and I mean, it was okay. I loved the first season. The first season was a 9.5. This season is an 8.5. So I mean, it brings the overall average of the show to a 9, a nice perfect 9, and really that's what this show is. I think it's necessary, but I think they crossed a couple lines humoristically, I suppose. Story-wise, there are just some things that I probably wouldn't have done, and things that I was just like, I guess so, I guess that's funny. But this season was a bummer season for sure, but I can't wait for season 3. I think that's gonna wrap up Julio's story very nicely. I don't know, I liked season 1 way more than I liked season 2. It didn't jive with me as much as season 1 did. And then then we had Heartstopper Season 2. I started that on the 3rd, and I finished that finally on the 10th. And as you can see, it has taken me a little bit to finish these. I'm telling you, man, there were days where I wouldn't watch anything on my list. I'd be watching other things somewhere else with other people, but that's for a different day. But I started Heartstopper a little late because I had to finish a couple other things first. I really did enjoy Heartstopper Season 2. I enjoyed Season 1, again, way more than I enjoyed Season 2. Although Season 2 was super cute, I did think that the writing and the dialogue was a little on the nose. But I mean, come on, that's how it is. That's how it is when you're young and in love for the first time. Not just for the first time, but just any time. And it is super cute, so it does get a 9 out of 10. I mean, the first season I think was just a straight perfect 10 out of 10. But this one I don't know, it just seemed like they relied heavily on the cutesy phrases that couples say in relationships, way too much in my opinion. And then I started the Traitors UK on the 7th. Now my friend and I actually started this one because we started the US version, and so we started watching the UK version afterward. Oh my goodness, as I was watching the Traitors UK, I kept thinking to myself, I don't like this season, I'm gonna call someone. I just wanted to throw my car because I was so frustrated. Because, I mean, listen, the difference between the US version and the UK version is that the UK version, you wouldn't think this, but the UK version, they get way too emotional and way too personal. The name of the game is Traitors. And in the US version, they're ruthless, they're cutthroat. In this one, they're like, we're family, and we feel betrayed that you would betray us in a game called The Traitors. Listen, it's called The Traitors. You're supposed to lie in the game, and everyone is perplexed that they're lying to each other. So it is a little frustrating, but the UK version is, wow, it is, I will say, I don't know which one was more stressful, the US or the UK, but yeah, because I didn't enjoy, without any spoilies, I don't like one of the Traitors, but turns out the Traitors in the UK play the game just a little bit more strategic, or a little bit more hands-on than they do in the US version, we'll say that. And I was just a little frustrated over and over for the UK, because the UK people were just getting way too personal and emotional. But you guys will see the show on your own. Did they catch Traitors? Did they not? You don't know, I know, but you're gonna have to go watch the shows for yourself. They have both been renewed for a season 2, but my friend and I, we're definitely gonna start the Australian version pretty soon. But that was finished on the 29th, and I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Only because I was just frustrated with how these players played the game. But that is the name of the game. You play it how you play it. And then on the 18th, I saw Solar Opposites Season 4, and let me tell you what, when Corvo's voice changed so suddenly and stayed changed, at first, I wasn't really on board, and then it quickly grew on me by episode 2 or 3. And the development with the wall was insane as well. Of course, the thing that's keeping me on is the wall, but with Corvo's new voice, I'm actually enjoying the slight personality shift with the new voice. Dan Stevens is doing a really good job after Justin Roiland, who was fired due to a ton of controversy that befell him. I still enjoy Solar Opposites. I thought that this season was pretty good. I didn't think it was top notch, but I thought it was pretty good, so 8.5 it gets. I finished that on the 21st. So now you guys are probably wondering, what did you do after this? What are you doing? Well, to answer that, I am actually trying to finish The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I finally finished season 2 and season 3 at the time of this recording, so I am on my way to watch season 4, season 5, and then I can finally finish Sex Education by the time season 4 comes out, so I can just get all of that done and over with as well, and I can just emerge a new Phoenix man. And finally, we have the movies, and I started coloring these, so every 2023 movie that came out, it's gonna be this little, it's green to me. A lot of you guys are gonna be like, it's teal. It's not teal. I don't know what it is. It's green. Then any rewatches that are clearly obvious are gonna be this light opaque gray. But anyway, so we're really only gonna cover the green and the white. We're kind of gonna skip over the gray because we don't need to, because we all know they're great. Anyway, so on August 3rd, we watched the TMNT Mutant Mayhem, of which I have here misspelled that I always have one. At this point, I feel like it's tradition. But TMNT Mutant Mayhem, of which I did make a review for, so if you would like, please go check that out. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. I'm just gonna let myself speak for myself. And then on the 5th, I saw Oppenheimer. Yeah, I didn't really do Barbenheimer, and I almost didn't watch Oppenheimer, but I decided I'm gonna go watch it. And you know what? I had a really good time. But I really do feel like the movie dragged just a bit, and I think there are certain elements that just was absolutely not needed for the film. Unfortunately, I think that was Florence Pugh's character, of which, I mean, I've seen her do a little bit better in other things as well, so, you know, it's hit or miss. You do you type thing. That's what Oppenheimer really is. It's just Nolan's Oscar checkbox list, and that's, once you see that, you're just like, okay, I kind of see it. But a lot of people are saying, oh, this movie is absolutely necessary for this day and age because the message is what we need. And honestly, I've been thinking like this since I was a child. So I'm a little ahead of the time. So when I was watching this movie, I was like, well, no, duh. Nothing was revolutionary to me. Like, I understood this from when I first learned history. I understood this from just literally looking at how the world operates. I know this because I grew up conservative and I look at the world differently, and I just see the fall of humanity. Is humanity ourselves? We are our own destruction and downfall for pretty much anything that goes wrong. And I understand that. The greed, the selfishness, the too charitableness, the lack of a creativity, or the force of creativity. I've seen it all. Humanity is evil. I get it. So to me, Oppenheimer, I was like, yep. Thanks for catching up. Was I a little bored? Yes, just a little bit. But I was quickly brought back in because the visuals, the creativity, this movie is creative. But in terms of my favorite Nolan movie, it's not. I think this would be my 4th favorite Nolan movie, but I really do think that atomic bomb scene was a little underwhelming. I do agree with that criticism. And then on the 19th, I saw The Haunted Mansion, of which you can also go see my review. So again, I'm going to let myself speak for myself, but it does get an 8.9 out of 10, just so shy of giving it a 9. I just can't really give it a 9 fully. It's just so ever so close. I loved the film. It was fun and heartwarming and kind of sad at certain points, but that's the point of The Haunted Mansion. But anyway, go watch my review, comment on that video, and I don't know, come back here. Let's hang out. And then on the 18th, I saw Blue Beetle. I didn't make a review for this one. However, I did write a whole 5 or 6, I think it's like 5-page video essay on Blue Beetle that I have to do a little bit more research to complete, but I don't know how I'm gonna tackle this because it is one of the best written pieces that I've done so far, like in a long time. Not so far in my life. I've done so much better. So I don't know if I'm gonna release it on my website as just a written review. Not quite sure, but I love this film. It's definitely going to go in my top 10, where, not quite sure yet, but it's going to be high on the list. This does get a 9.3 out of 10. It does have some flaws, and you do see a lot of cliches, superhero cliches, but I think that's what elevates this film, because this film reminds me a lot of Encanto meets Iron Man meets, I don't really remember at this point, but I had a lot more comparisons. But unfortunately, DC has not regained the trust of audience members, and audience members have said, enough! And they just don't want to do it anymore. They don't want to put their money and trust into something that they already know and trust is going to disappoint them, even though Blue Beetle is a fantastic film and is just one that needs to succeed because of what it represents. But unfortunately, dang it DC, dang it Walter Hamada, and dang it James Gunn for not doing the work necessary to regain the trust of all of us so that you can gain our money. But then on the 19th, I saw Step Brothers. Yeah, no, I've never seen this movie. I've not seen a lot of classic comedies, and we are going to be watching them together, but I saw this one with my friend on Hulu, and it gets a 7.5, just cause. It is great. It is funny. I laughed my hat off. I just think it's another comedy. It's another classic comedy, and it made me feel great. I'm quickly running through the list. On August 20th, I saw Avengers Age of Ultron, Captain Marvel, Captain America Civil War, and Infinity War, because I was trying to show this one friend as well a lot of the Marvel movies, because he's seen some, but he's not gotten the real story. So I'm kind of just showing him the main meat so that I can show him the other movies, so that he can just kind of jump on board and we can just watch things as they proceed forward. But as well as Star Wars, he's only seen the original trilogies and some of the Clone Wars. So we're watching Star Wars Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3. We've already covered the original trilogy and we're on to the new trilogy as well now, just so that we can see Rebels to be able to then see Ahsoka. I'm watching Ahsoka, but yeah, I'm trying to catch him. So that's all of those. I've seen, these are all rewatches. I've seen them before, but you know, they're all great. You'll see the ratings at the end of the year when I do those. But on the 25th, I saw Sausage Party. I give that one a 6. It is funny. I will admit it is funny, but it is a little much. But at least I am now in the know. I now know memes. I now know quotes. And then on the 28th, I saw Role Models on Hulu as well. I just saw it there and I was like, yep, let's play it. And I give that an 8. I think that was also really funny. It's a Paul Rudd movie. That's it. I mean, it's fun. It's funny. Go watch it. There's not really much I could say about it. It's a classic 2008 movie. And then finally on August 31st, just because I could, I saw Bottoms in AMC theaters. This movie is phenomenal. Does it go over the edge a little bit? Kind of towards the end, but I think that's the beauty of this movie, because it is insanely meta. But that is because that's the humor of today, and Ayo Edebiri in this is Ayo Edebiri, but she is phenomenally funny regardless of anything. And I also like that this movie, being an LGBT movie, kind of, I mean it is, but you wouldn't really think that it would be, because they're not in your face about it. Because whenever they make an LGBT movie about guys, it's always in your face and flamboyancy, and it's always as if these people are just an entirely different breed. And it's not that way. And it was just cool to see that these main characters, yes, they're a lesbian, but they're just literally normal individuals, and they acted just like any other normal individual would as well. There was nothing that stood out that said lesbian, gay, none of it. And I absolutely loved this movie because it just treated everything as just a normal occurrence. What time frame does this take place in? I have no clue. Bottoms is really funny, and it is produced by Elizabeth Banks, who produced and starred in the Pitch Perfect movie. Well, she didn't star, but she was in the Pitch Perfect movies, and she produced and directed Cocaine Bear as well. So this movie definitely has that Elizabeth Banks flair. You can really feel it, and that's a good thing. But 9.3 out of 10 goes to Bottoms. So that was it. That was my August. What did you guys think? What did you watch in the month of August? Let me know down below, and if you've seen any of these, also let me know what your rating is. Please be sure to check out my social media links in the description below, as well as my Patreon and my website. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos, more reviews, more reactions, anything TV related, honestly. And I will see you next time. You've just been Montified.